Hi all, in this video we will learn about cybercrime and its categories, types of cybercrime, VAPT, types of penetration testing phases, red team and blue team. Cybercrime and its categories. A crime that uses system as an object or system as a tool to do an offense is called cybercrime. They try to access user personal information, business and government information, and sell their data. There are three categories of cybercrime. The first one, property. It's similar to real world. There are pickpocketers and they steal things. Even in cyber world, there are people who steal users' bank details, getting card detail from online purchase, gaining access to a system, website, network, and sending malicious software that can damage both hardware and software. The second one is individual. This category involves a single individual who keep malicious or illegal information online. The cybercrime includes cyberstalking, distributing pornography, and trafficking. The third one is government. It is a crime against government which is least common cybercrime, but its most serious offense. It's also known as cyber terrorism. The criminals hack government websites, military websites, etc. Generally, these criminals are terrorists or other nations' enemy governments. Types of cybercrimes. We'll see each one in detail. The first one is email bombing. It is a kind of internet abuse that targets a single email address and sends multiple emails. If a person is flooded with this multiple email, that may make his inbox full and he may miss some important emails. The aim is not to steal the data but make the server busy and it's hard to fix. Spamming. Attackers try to create a malicious links with an intention to damage, harm or mislead users and their devices. Some malicious advertising links like "you won an iPhone" or any other ads. When user clicks on this link, a malware can be downloaded that can steal user personal data. Sales and investment fraud. The frauditor gives the contact details and account information from available sources and gives it to an investment broker. Then he calls the customer and tempts them by saying fake profits where the customer thinks it's real and trustworthy. Salami slicing attack. It is a technique to steal money. The criminals steal money or resources at a time in small bits. They try to steal very little amount of money from the bank accounts where user may not notice it. And they steals money from various accounts where that finally leads to a huge amount. Cyberstalking. It is a cybercrime that involves online harassment by sending online messages and emails. Generally, the victim and the stalker know each other. They use some social media applications to harass or blackmail the victim. In many parts of the world, cyberstalking is considered as crime. Cyberbullying. This is similar to cyberstalking. They send abusive and harmful messages to victims. They use social media to share photos, videos that includes some personal or private information of the victim. Child soliciting and abuse. It is one type of cybercrime. Criminals create chat rooms and ask children who is under the age of 16 to join these chat groups for pornography. The child pornography is considered a big crime. The police department continuously monitors websites or social media applications that may encourage child abuse. VAPT, Vulnerability Assessment and Penetration Testing. It performs two different tasks. Vulnerability assessment will try to identify the vulnerabilities of network devices, servers, and systems. It also takes care of configuration issues where attacker may attack. In every organization, they conduct this vulnerability assessment for their internal network and applications. Penetration testing identifies different possible ways where an attacker can get into your network. A penetration tester acts like an ethical hacker for testing systems, networks, and web applications. Types of penetration testing. There are three types of penetration testing. The first one, a black box testing. It is also known as behavioral testing. The testers don't have idea of internal structure, design and implementation of a product when testing. This testing is based on software requirements and specifications, and it mainly focuses on inputs and outputs of software system. The second one is white box testing. It is also known as open box testing, clear box testing, transparent box testing, glass box testing, structural testing, and code-based testing. This testing is done by developers. It tests the internal structure, design, and implementation of a product, and it is known to the tester. It mainly works on internal functionality of an application and does internal testing. The third one is gray box testing. It is a combination of both white box and black box testing. The testers will have partial knowledge of applications, internal functionality, and test the software product or applications. It identifies the context-specific errors related to web systems. Penetration testing phases. There are 7 phases. We'll see each one in detail. The first one is pre-engagement. This phase gathers the client requirements and reach their expectations. It also sets penetration test scopes like writing some general rules, estimating the time, etc. It is one of the most important phases. The second phase is reconnaissance. This phase collects all the necessary information from target. It finds, selects, and acquires information from public resources like website, social media profiles, etc. It discovers various entry points into the organization that may be physical, social, or electronic channels. The third phase is threat modeling and vulnerability analysis. This phase defines various threat modeling approaches of a penetration test. They test everything in the attacker views to provide a strong defender mechanism. They identify the threats and prioritize them. The vulnerability analysis can be active and passive. Interacting directly with tested device can be active. Analyzing metadata or monitoring traffic can be passive. The fourth phase is exploitation. They try to attack like hackers and try to compromise the system in many ways. They even target the organization assets. The fifth phase is post-exploitation. Once the machine is compromised, then we need to check the damage rate. Start documenting the things you observed. The sixth phase is reporting. This is the most important phase where a documentation is prepared and prioritize the risk levels that helps the clients. The remediation steps should be reported correctly, where this report can be used for future purpose. The last phase is retesting. This is not a mandatory phase, but it's good to have this phase. Once the vulnerabilities are fixed, it's better to retest so as to check whether the vulnerability is fixed properly or not. Red team and blue team. Red team. Red team mainly focuses on penetration testing to detect, eliminate and prevent vulnerabilities. They act like attackers and exploits vulnerabilities in an organization where they use some tactics, techniques and procedures that an attacker does. They will have clear picture of exploitation and builds strong defensive mechanisms to prevent future breaches. Blue team. Blue team is similar to red team. When red team acts like an attacker and use various techniques to attack, then blue team finds their ways to defend it by changing defensive mechanisms to make incident response stronger. The blue team is aware of malicious techniques and tactics. They do security audits, log analysis, etc. Thank you. We'll see you in the next video.
For more videos, please download our application Cyber Future Tech from Google Play Store.